This is a Sound Waves production.
Hi and welcome to an exciting double episode of Drive TV. I'm Fareed Kimani, and in this episode we go off-roading with Glenn Edmonds in the Nissan Qashquai and the Nissan Navara. Plus, we'll give you some great driving tips and we'll catch up on all the latest action from Formula One. So let's put this show in gear.
The cars arrived at Glenn's track at his driving school, and after he made the necessary preparations, he warmed the car up and was ready to go. The first test was the slalom test. Where the Qashquai managed to score 5 out of a possible 10. The second test was the zigzag, where the Qashquai did a little better and scored 6 out of 10. The third test was the child avoidance test, the Qashquai maintained its score of 6 out of 10. Up next on the track was the Navara. And like the Qashquai, we put it through the slalom test, where it scored 4 out of 10. Not very good. The second test was the zigzag. Unfortunately, it did not manage to redeem itself and maintained a score of 4 out of 10. The final test was the child avoidance test. It did a little better and got a 5 out of 10. Overall, Glenn thought the car did pretty well and gave it a score of 7 out of 10. Glenn didn't think the Navara did too badly and gave it an overall score of 6 out of 10. After Glenn was satisfied that all the necessary tests had been done, we took the cars out of town and asked him a few more questions.
Glenn, how are you?
Hey, how are you doing
Good,
today?
man. Good. So how'd it go?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
It was a nice car.
Yeah.
Drove well.
The Qashquai.
The Qashquai.
Okay. You've obviously driven a number of Nissans over the years. How would you rate this Qashquai in terms of what Nissan has offered in the past?
It's quite refined, actually. I found that the finish was better than I expected. There's definitely been an improvement in the way the vehicle's been built. They've made a real effort with the interior as well as the way that the car drives, and you can immediately feel that the way the car drives is much more stable, it's much more solid. It doesn't have that metallic-y feel about it that the old Nissan hard bodies and the previous Nissans did. When you shut the door shuts.
Yes.
Yeah. And of course it's got the electronic 4x4 system, which is always a good.
Right. But isn't there also a danger with electronic 4x4? I mean, obviously when the electronics fail, the car is basically useless at that point. Or is this something that these guys have been working on to make sure this doesn't happen? I mean, I've had cars in the past where the electronics fail and the car's just...
Yeah. No, definitely this system that they've been running for a while. And I think they've worked out 99% of the bugs. This is the same system that they ran in the X-Trails, and we were talking about the X-Trails earlier. And those X-Trail systems work well. We've got to remember that this is not a true off-road vehicle.
Right.
It's really a soft off-road vehicle. You need the four-wheel drive system for if it's a little bit snotty, a little bit wet. When you need it, it will get you out of trouble to a level.
Right. You drove it off-road, and also you drove it on the open road as well. Control-wise, how is it?
It wasn't wonderful, but it was good. As an all-round vehicle, it definitely fits a market.
Right.
Yeah.
What about power?
It was running the new 2-litre multi-point engine, and that engine gives you good power up at the top, could use more torque.
Okay.
Off the bottom. When you wanted it to go quickly, you had to rev it a little bit. I personally don't like that. I prefer an engine that delivers the power from the bottom. The diesel engine would have been a better, for me, would have suited me better. But then again, for driving around Nairobi, in and out to a place like Kitengela, would be fine.
Right, and obviously for our roads here in Kenya, not just talking about the highway, but the sort of slight off-road that we see, as you said, soft off-road. A car like the Qashquai, a good buy? What is the cost of this car?
Yeah, cost of this car, from what I can gather, is 4.4 million shillings.
Okay.
For what you get, it's not bad. It's got a little bit of ground clearance, which helps, and it's got a little bit of style to it.
Right, and bells and whistles, the stuff that I like?
Yeah, bells and whistles. It's got everything. It's got a good automatic gearbox with a sequential part to it, Tiptronic. It's also, one of the things I did like about this car is that there's a button in the car where you push it and it allows you to remove all the skid control of it. And I like that. As a driver who wants more control, that's what I
But do you feel sometimes with the newer cars that it's less the driver's responsibility and more the car? I mean, I've seen it with sort of, this is a 2012, 2013 edition. It's less about the driver nowadays. And obviously someone like yourself, that's a little bit, not frightening, but not satisfying sometimes.
This car is perfect for that person who maybe is a little bit phobic when it comes to vehicles. It'll do everything for them. So they can just rely on what the car's got and carry on.
Right.
Sensing wipers.
To me, rain sensing wipers don't really. I don't look at that as an option. Chances are, if it rains, first thing you do
is to
put your wiper on. This one actually starts picking up water.
Yeah.
And immediately it feels that it's raining or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty comfortable drive for a normal road.
Yeah. I think for this sort of road, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
What I do like as well is that you can have your own climate control.
Yep.
And I've got my own climate control.
Okay.
Yeah. For when you're pissed off with the wife.
I want it warm. I want it cold.
Yeah.
I don't feel like this car's gonna wow.
I think it's going to struggle up the hill a little bit because I think it's a bit short on power. I must have.
I think the automatic hurts it.
Yes, without a doubt.
5-speed, I think you'd do a little bit better.
Yeah, rush hour in Police Road.
Yeah, I think they're going the wrong way.
Yeah. Damn, I hate it when people get on the wrong side of the road.
This week on Drive TV News, we come to you from the Total Motor Show right here in the heart of Nairobi at the KICC. And we take a look at some of the brand new cars that have made their entry into the Kenyan market. That's not one of them. Brand new Mercedes-Benz A-Class, a slightly bigger Nissan Patrol, the rugged Jeep Wrangler, the brand new Range Rover, which is ridiculous, and of course Toyota's brand new entry into the sports car market. Plus, Toyota didn't stop there. They also brought in the eco-friendly Prius Hybrid for that driver that wants to do something for the environment, as well as experience some superb performance. Now, for those of you that are roughly my age, you'll remember the 80s and 90s when either you owned a Mercedes or someone you knew owned a Mercedes, or even if there was something aspirational that you wanted and you looked at. I'll tell you one thing about Mercedes that always stuck out to me, whether I was in one or just looking at one, was the big grille. Now, for years, Mercedes went away from that look, but you can see by the 2014 E-Class, they've gone back to the drawing board. This, to me, this grille right here and this emblem is what Mercedes is all about. So this is a Mercedes-Benz A-Class we were talking about at the top of this segment, and I've just come to have another look at it, trying to get inside, and I was told it was sold, and the keys were taken. Now, this car goes for about 55,000 euros, which is roughly 6.5 million shillings, showing that this motor show is not just a place to come and look at cars, but people actually come here to buy cars. And the emerging middle class in this country, cars that are more expensive are hitting our roads. Someone came here yesterday, we're told, and bought this one with cash. That's going to wrap it up for us here at the 2013 edition of the Total Motor Show. And it's quite fitting that we ended up here to what I consider to be the best entry into the market for the new year. We'll be right back after this break. Time now for the Drive TV feature. Today we profile some items for your car that are both safe and stylish. All right, what we have here is the window glove sunshade. Now basically this is a great alternative to tinted windows, which obviously, as you probably know, are quote-unquote illegal in Kenya and around East Africa. Mainly they say it's reflective glass, even though, as you can see, tint is not really reflective. It's as reflective as a non-tinted window. But this is a great alternative. Reduces harmful UV rays, provides shade from the sun, protection from insects, keeps air circulated for long-distance driving, and protection, of course, for children and passengers. But, I mean, that's the official way it works. I'll just show you exactly what I mean. It's simple. When I say simple, I mean very simple to implement. Just slide it on, like so. Once it's on, you've got sort of a nice shade in the car. The best part about it is you can still roll down your window if you need to. Fits on. Different models, obviously, as you can see, different models will take different ones. This one, as long as it has a door frame, it can work. And like I said, you can roll down the window. Basically, if you're driving long distances, you've got kids in the back, protection from the sun. The police can't stop you here because it is non-reflective. And what I really love about this is once it gets dirty, simple thing, take it off, just like this, throw it in the wash, and put it back on when it's clean. You can do it for all the windows if you want in the back, and of course on the side as well. The best part about this is it's inexpensive, and it comes for pretty much any car, any model that has a frame on the door, not just glass windows that go up and down. Now these, I like to call them safety mats because they keep your dashboard from cracking, which, as you know, in the hot African sun is quite common in cars that have this type of material as part of the dashboard. But what's nice is the custom make for each car. So for this particular model of Nissan, you've got all the parts that fit perfectly to the point where you can even lift up your glove box and where you keep all your documents and things of that nature, sunglasses, whatever. So basically this particular item, great. Again, protection for the car. It also looks really nice as well. You give it a sort of like carpeting for your car, but not on the floor, and other areas of the car as well. It's wonderful stuff. And of course, again, once it's dirty, take it off, throw it in the wash and put it back on. So really, really keeps the car protected, clean, but most importantly, protection from the hot African sun, which you will see in your car as years go by, fading and of course cracking as well.
Preparing a tubeless tyre. You need gloves, tubeless tyre kit, some engine cleaner or carburetor cleaner just to clean the hole. Let's look inside what's inside the kit. A pair of long nose needle pliers or Leatherman. Smoothing tool to put into the hole to clean the hole. Puncture repair strips. This is a puncture strip insertion tool. A knife or a blade. Vulcanizing adhesive that will be applied to the strips and into the hole. So first put on your gloves to ensure that your hands do not get cut. Gloves are a very important part of working on anything that may cut you. First locate the offending item that is giving you a puncture and remove it. Once you've removed the nail, mark the area, insert the insertion tool or the smothering tool, locate the angle of the hole. Now clean the hole. Once a hole is cleaned with the insertion tool, it's always advisable to spray air around the hole. Try and get it as clean as possible. That way the puncture strips will stick better. Spray some carburetor cleaner in the hole and around the hole to ensure that when you put the strips in, that the area is clean and you'll get a good seal. Insert the puncture repair strips into the insertion tool. Always ensure you remove the blue adhesive cover first. Once this is done, add some vulcanizing liquid to the actual hole and onto the strips themselves. Now place the tip of the needle in line with the open abrasion and then gently push the plug into the tyre. About 25% of its length remains above the tread surface. Ensure that the plug is right through and then pull the needle from the tyre. Don't twist, it must be a clean pull, leaving the plug in place. Let it seal for about 4 or 5 minutes. Then gently cut away any of the remaining material that sticks above the tread. Now add pressure. Once you've added pressure, just pour some water over the area to ensure that there are no bubbles coming out of the offending hole. If there are no bubbles out of the hole, continue putting pressure into the tyre until it's inflated to the correct pressure. You can now replace the tyre and be on your way.
Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of Drive TV, so make sure you tune in next week as we take that Nissan Navara off-road with Glenn Edmonds. Plus, we'll show you the cost of being unsafe on the road. You can follow us on Facebook. It's Facebook/Drive TV. You can follow us on Twitter @Drive TV. And check out Drive TV on YouTube. See you next week.